Hello, people. Welcome to the channel. It's your boy, Spider-Loc, and this is Spiderweb TV Presents Check Down, where we check down on the top available waiver wire pickups of Week 8. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. I feel pretty down, man. And that brings me to my next point. If you feel down, right, and you need someone to pick you up, basically, you need a friend like this. Check this out.
And I do not want the treatment that Deshaun Watson has received from these passionate fans. I know you love this game. When I first got here, I knew these were some amazing fans. But Deshaun was treated badly. And now he has to overcome another obstacle. So I'm going to support him. I'm going to lift him up. And I'm going to be there for him. Because I see the way he fights. I see the way that he works. And I know who he is as a person and as an NFL quarterback. And that's all I have to say to address him. I'm sending up my prayers. I already prayed for his leg. And I will continue.
He already done prayed for his leg, and he will continue to pray. This is a real friend. This is one of my top highlighted pickups of the week, Mr. Winston. If you don't know this guy, then you're sleeping under the rock. You know what I'm saying? You've been sleeping under the rock for a long time. He started his career in 2015 with Tampa Bay. Started off really well. 4,000 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Yeah, the interceptions were a problem, but he was a rookie. You know what I mean? He then began to play for two other teams, New Orleans and then finally Cleveland, where he lands, as of today. And if you watched the game last Sunday, you saw that Watson tore his ACL. He was going in for a go-ahead touchdown quarterback sneak type of deal and just collapsed. And they put Thompson in the game, surprisingly, over Winston, which surprised me very much because Winston, he has proven himself in the league, right? This Thompson fella, I don't even know his name. I know he has a dash in his name, two last names or whatever. But this guy, he came in the game, he did pretty well until he hurt his finger. So the Cleveland Browns have two quarterbacks that are injured, and we don't know if Thompson's going to play, but we do know that Winston can play. I love this guy, man. Like, I love him. He's one of the most prolific quarterbacks of his era, of his draft class, and he's like highly slept on. His spirit, the way he carries himself on the field, the way he approaches the game with positive energy, whether he wins or loses, I feel is a plus. He'll go out there and he'll sling it, he'll run it. You know what I mean? He has the full packages, in my opinion. I feel like he's better than Watson, And the fact that the entire crowd booed Watson, and cheered Winston when he got in the game, speaks volumes. But like he said, he doesn't want any backlash. He doesn't want the fans to treat him as if, they're happy when he gets injured because his gameplay has been subpar, right? No one likes that. Nobody wants that. But altogether, Winston, 22,187 passing yards, 142 touchdowns, and 99 interceptions all time. It's not bad. He's on the waiver wire. Pick him up. You're going to need him. Next up. Let's see who we got next on our list here. Next up is somebody that, people really slept on this guy, right? They slept on him for a long time. They say he couldn't play. They say he was over. They said his reign of terror is over. And that is none other than your boy, Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson, he looked like the Russell Wilson of old. You know, he looked like prime Russell Wilson, if I might add. As you can see on this clip right here, he does his infamous moon pass, which he just chunks it up in the air as high as it goes to his highest point, and it goes down, and the receiver has the best chance of receiving it. It's basically like a jump ball situation. When I saw that, I didn't see that in Denver, right? When he played in Denver, he was a little slow, little confused, it seemed like he didn't have it all together. He didn't. I guess he didn't really like playing there. He didn't like playing for the coach there, and that's okay, because with Mike Tomlin, you see my guy has walked into a time machine, right? And he has turned back the clock a little bit and has initiated and activated prime Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson this weekend, man, like let's not even talk about this weekend. Let's talk about his stats, right? His stats. All-time career stats. 43,917 yards total. 336 touchdowns and 106 interceptions. That rest, and a Super Bowl ring. That alone, the Super Bowl ring, the yards, the touchdowns, they outshine the interceptions, right? They show you exactly what this guy can do, right? He's been in the league since 2012, right? That's 12 years in the league. He's only been on 2 teams. I thought he was going to stay, with Seattle because he fit so well there. You know what I mean? He was like a superhero kind of to me. I miss that Russell Wilson. And that Russell Wilson just so happens to be on the Steelers team. And he's on a waiver wire in the over 92% of fantasy leagues out there, people. He's available. Go pick him up. Don't be crazy. Don't let somebody else pick him up. I'm going to pick him up. Yeah, I'll tell you that right now. I lost in 2 of my leagues last week. He's one of my top waiver wire pickups for this week. No lie. The thing about Russell Wilson, I will put a disclaimer on it, because Justin Fields, he was balling out. The reason why their record is so good right now is because of Justin Fields. But let's be real. Justin Fields is just not Russell Wilson, right? Russell Wilson is a veteran. He's a pro. He's been here before. And by the looks of it, he looks very, very hungry. And I can't wait to see what he does here in the near future. Yeah, those are my waiver wire pickups for this week. 2 quarterbacks. I feel like wide receivers are also, there were a lot of injuries, this weekend. Chris Goodwin, the guy from Detroit, broke his leg on defense. Aiden Hutchinson. I think Deebo Samuel has some kind of weird illness. Brandon Ayuk broke his leg or knee. The list goes on, But there are wide receivers out there that are still on the waiver wire list, like Rashad Bateman, Ricky Pearsall. I think that's his name. Ricky Pearsall. He might have a grand opportunity as a rookie coming up. Brandon Ayuk hurt. I believe Jawan Jennings is hurt as well, but he might be back next week. So it would be the Jawan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall's opportunity to step up. With those 2 key players down, it's a perfect opportunity for these 2 players to step up and really show what it takes. DK Metcalf, he also got hurt, so that makes Jackson Smith-Njigba, probably the number 2 or number 1, between him and Tyler Lockett. So those are people you should think about starting this week or picking up on your waiver wire if they're still out there and available. Notable mentions. I would like to give a special shout out to the running back from Jacksonville, Tank Bigsby. I think he took over Travis Etienne's spot. He just took him right from under his wing, and now he has that starting position. And you see that a lot nowadays in the NFL. Chase Brown for the Cincinnati Bengals has actually taken Zach Moss's spot, which is very sad. And it kind of angers me because he was on my fantasy squad and I had to drop him. You know what I mean? I can't do anything with 8 points a week with a running back, right? You're not being productive, and that's a thing about fantasy. You want to be productive at all times. You don't want to get it in that box where you can't be productive and get things done. Okay, you want to make sure that you're ahead of the curve, right? Like, I know last week a lot of people were saying Ty Chandler, pick up Ty Chandler, but me personally, I don't feel like Ty Chandler was ever a great pickup, right? Because things are made unclear. You want to make sure it's clear, because you play these players and they don't perform well, and then you end up losing, and it hurts your chances of making it to the playoffs and potentially making, having the opportunity to win the money at the end. So you want to have a leg up on the competition by staying focused on what is happening in the game. Watch the games. Okay, don't watch the projections, watch the games, and they'll let you know. Like these people that I'm telling you about in the games, they were doing things that were impressive. Even James Winston, he came in the fourth quarter, I believe, and he passed for a touchdown to the tight end. I don't know how to spell his name or say his name. It starts with an N, Njoku or something like that. He threw a touchdown pass. So these people have proven that they can be productive with the opportunities that they have. So I feel like these people are the ones you should pick up off of the waiver wire for week 8. If you guys have any questions or want me to highlight anything else, on my channel as far as it goes for fantasy football and sports, make sure you drop in the comments down below what you want me to talk about, whether it's yards per attempt, PPR leagues. It doesn't matter. I'm pretty much a connoisseur of fantasy football. And also, it's a real cool podcast that's out right now, and I'm going to share it on my next stream. A real cool guy that I know personally, he has a podcast and he runs it, and he gives people fantasy advice, who they should start and who they should sit, and sometimes even explain the breakdowns of the parlay picks that he picks personally. And then you can, make a decision of how you want to go and how you want to make plays, based off of what he says on his podcast. And hopefully one day I can get him on my podcast and we can collaborate. Thank you guys for watching. This is it. It's the first episode. Check down. Fantasy football league expert like myself will give you the scoop and the lowdown of who you should pick up each week on the waiver wire and why. Thank you guys for watching. Bless.